was actually out during the night doing my regular reporting shift, and we were probably about 10 or 15 minutes away from the strip, just grabbing a bite to eat when we got the call that something was going on the Las Vegas Strip. And just to give you an idea, so Mandalay Bay is on the very south end, pretty close to where McCarran International Airport is. So the exit that we got off of is called Russell, and at that point, police you could see them coming down the I-15, which is the interstate that runs next to the Las Vegas Strip, and then you could see police cars just rushing to shut down all of the intersections. I don't know if you called it fortunate or not, but we were able to make a left turn and head north on the Las Vegas Boulevard toward Mandalay Bay, where this was all just unfolding at that time. And police really didn't know if there was still an active shooter out there. I mean, they were basically just trying to get everybody safe at that point. So myself and one of my other colleagues were right across the street from Mandalay Bay as they were searching the building, looking for whoever the prospective, shooter was at the time. People were fleeing at that time, and actually there was a man who ran up to us, bloodied down his shirt, and he was saying, "Help me, help me. I just watched 4 of my friends, get shot to death." And he was trying to direct people to go toward Mandalay Bay because he was trying to seek help, but I think that he was so distraught at that point and overwhelmed by what was going on. He ended up really breaking down and freaking out. He actually attacked my cameraman about 10 or 15 minutes later. There were many other people that we talked to as we were walking down the Las Vegas Strip, and we were probably pushed down about 1 mile to 2 miles south as they, searched through Mandalay Bay. Of course, as you know, right now, the whole entire building is shut down, although there were several people inside their hotel rooms. I know I talked to one family who got separated, and the mother was on the 24th floor. The father had made it out to the Welcome to the Fabulous Las Vegas sign, which is probably about 1 mile south of there, and couldn't find his 2 kids who were inside the concert at the time. His phone had gone dead at the time, and these 2 kids finally made their way toward the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, and the 3 of them hugged, and I was able to actually text the mother up in the Mandalay Bay room and let her know, hey, your family is down here and everything is, okay with them. But of course, many families are separated tonight. We have what we call the Thomas and Mack, where a lot of the football takes place here. That's where they're making accommodations for many, many people who can't get back to their hotel rooms tonight. For a period of time, every single hotel on the Strip was locked down.
Christy, could you give us an idea of the distance between the hotel and the concert? Because the death toll is so high, more than 50 people killed by what it would appear at this point, one man. Just how big is the distance?
They're actually pretty close together. My understanding is this man was on the I want to say either 32nd or 34th floor. And open fired on the crowd down below. So, I mean, right now we know that more than 50 people have been killed, at least 200 injured. And fortunately, we have a trauma center at UMC taking care of patients. But I believe every hospital across the valley was taking in as many people as they, possibly could. There were first responders all over the place, but the venue and the casino very, very close to each other.
You mentioned first responders. Were they quick to get to the scene, the police and the emergency services?
One thing I can say about Las Vegas is any time that there is anything, specifically the Las Vegas Strip, they are so vigilant about making sure that every single person, I mean, you see 42 million, I believe we're 44 million guests every single year. So they're very vigilant about watching what happens on the Las Vegas Strip. There's so much security, especially Homeland Security has what I call the eyes in the skies out there. So you have video cameras up and down the Las Vegas Strip watching every movement of every single person. So from what I was hearing from the people that I talked to on the ground who ran, out of that festival, everybody was saying how quickly the first responders have reacted. And I can also tell you, as a reporter here in Las Vegas, I would say a couple months ago, we had another incident where there was a school bus crash, and I found out there's a mass casualty unit that the Clark County Fire Department, so the fire department here, the county fire department, had made this massive fire truck essentially with 80 backboards. There was like 60 bulletproof vests. There was other aids material that they had put on there, preparing for an event just like this. So, they're just very, very vigilant when it comes to, keeping the Strip as safe as possible, and just heartbreaking, really, what happened tonight.
You mentioned security footage, security cameras on the Strip. What about in the hotels? I mean, how is it possible that a man was able to enter heavily armed, obviously, into the hotel? Do you think we might see some CCTV footage of him soon?
I'm not exactly sure how to answer that question. I mean, we have been interviewing, a retired officer on our show most of the day who, has been around this for a very long time. And there's a lot of security, when you go inside these casinos. There's so many video cameras, but we're hearing now that this man had several different style weapons on him. So how he got that into this room on the 30-odd floor, I have no idea.
You mentioned talking to some witnesses before. I understand some people said that they thought that they heard firecrackers or fireworks, and of course it turned out to be gunfire. Is there any one on the ground helping people deal with this on a psychological level?
Well, what we have is the American Red Cross is out here. Every single resource imaginable in Las Vegas is out here. I mean, every single hospital brought in all of their nursing, all of their staff, all of their emergency room doctors. Every single resource available was, they were brought into either on the scene. So there were I can't even describe how many ambulances line the Las Vegas Boulevard, but, you don't even, just not those ambulances, but you have full staffing at each one of the hospitals across the valley. So, depending on what kind of injuries each person was suffering, they would, of course, pull those people to the hospital that they could treat their wounds the best.